Read the books on your topic and try to contact the authors for an interview in which you ask all the questions that book raised in your mind. Experts are more than willing to give you an interview, and when you're done, you give them the recording, so now they have a product to sell. So what you're doing with a podcast is you're getting a guest, you're doing a great show, you're providing a lot of value to the audience. At the same time, it's recorded, and therefore you have a product to give to them to sell to their list. And they love that. They love to have a new product to sell to their list. And it just happened automatically because you were interviewing them. So now you're building relationships with that person. At the same time, you're becoming more of an expert. At the same time, you're creating a product for them, which at the same time is providing value to their list. So send a letter to the author in care of her publisher. You can find the publisher contact information in the front of the author's book or the publisher's website. Visit the author's website. An author usually posts a contact email address on his website. If you're not sure if the author has a website, look up his name online to find out. Log on to the author's message board if one exists. Some authors happily chat with the public on blogs and message boards. At least you might find someone on the message board who knows how to contact the author. You will get a hold of him or her eventually. Write to the author's agent. Agents forward correspondence to the author. Always be professional and clearly state your intentions for contacting the author in your letter. Find out if the author is doing a book signing at a local bookstore or appearing at a convention or writers' conference in your area. Make plans to attend the event and approach the author. Be ready with what you're going to say if possible. At some point, it's going to feel right to switch from learning to contributing, from being a follower to being a leader. And by contributing, you'll actually learn more than ever. It's a Hasidic dictum. It's a part of the Hasidic literature that one great sage said, I've learned so much from my teachers and I've learned even more from my father, but the most I have learned from my students. So when you get students, you will become a greater expert than ever. Your job is to build out what you learned into a step-by-step plan. People don't succeed from books. They succeed from step-by-step plans. You can't follow a book, but you can follow a step-by-step plan. Bruce Lee says, research your own experience, absorb what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is essentially your own. So anything that you can add from your own ideas that you will get when you go through the experiences of failing and succeeding, you will pick up some insights, and you definitely want to put those into your product. When you make a product, pretend like it's you coaching a person in front of you to their goal. When you make your sales video, which is the video that's going to get people to try to buy your product, we can break that script down into 5 parts. Number 1, grabbing attention. Number 2, telling the story of where you came from and where you wound up. Number 3, dismantling their false beliefs about why they won't succeed with your vehicle. Like if it was weight loss, they might be thinking to themselves, well, my wife buys a lot of chocolate. There's no way I'll be able to resist the chocolate. So you have to come up with a way to solve that problem. Number 4, stack on the value of the product. Keep adding bonuses and extra courses and extra supplements and whatever you can do to help them. You want to stack it on, pile it on. And number 5, close your call to action, your call to make them hit the order button and fill in their credit card information. There are many, many tactics towards making this more effective. Some things that I like to say is that this purchase won't really make a difference to my bottom line, which is true because these purchases are just one of many. But to you, this will affect your bottom line very much. So you want to buy this product because of the difference it's going to make to you, not the difference that it's going to make to me. It's a very powerful method in your sales video to tell the person that you're going to teach them what to do if you lost everything. Russell Brunson does this all the time. He has a whole program that you buy from people pretending that they lost all their money and all their connections, and what would they do to get back to the 2 club. So if you can also do that and say, here's what I would do if I had nothing and I lost all my skills, all my money, all my connections, people want to know how you would build it from scratch because that's really where they are. They're starting from scratch. You want to share how you learned or earned the information. So maybe you read 1,000 books and that's how you came upon the information. You learned it, or maybe you went through losing to people at golf 1,000 times to get the information. Either way, it's learning or earning, but it has to be difficult because everybody knows the process is going to be difficult. So you have to have a difficult story. This is called your origin story. If you went through the process of becoming an expert, you will have breakthrough moments. Something would have happened to you that would make a big difference in your journey. Some guide maybe gave you a tip that made a big difference, or maybe you just spent weeks studying on the topic in the library. Maybe it was some dusty old books. Maybe it was some mystical books, kind of like the hook that we're using for this product. 3,000 years old. I mean, it's true, but it's a good hook. It shows that it was difficult to get. This information was difficult to get. I mean, don't make up stuff, but want to make it sound as difficult as possible so that they will understand what a difficult process they are going to avoid by buying your product. Whatever made your journey difficult, talk about that. And then talk about the breakthrough that followed that. Your product needs to create a new opportunity. Listen to this carefully. It can't just be a faster car. It needs to be a Tesla, a different kind of car, one that runs on electricity instead of gas. It can't be just a longer lasting battery. It has to be a new kind of battery with totally different technology. I didn't tell you that I'm going to have a better course about making money online. I told you that I'm going to give you a course that's based on Jewish mysticism, which is 3,000 years old, and it's a completely different way of making money online. And that's what I gave you, and hopefully you got it. So it can't just be a better golf swing. It has to be a whole new way of looking at golfing. New gets people excited. If all you offer is to improve their life, they're going to think that they'll improve anyway without your help, without your product. So you need to offer a new opportunity, and you need to eventually get to the point where you've made others successful.